When Dillian Whyte was absolutely laid out by Alexander Povetkin last year in August, it didn't change my opinion of him. We'd had all this talk of him being this really improved force. He'd worked on loads of things. I never really believed in it. So when he got dropped badly at the beginning of the 5th round, for me, it just underlined what I'd always felt about Dillian Whyte, which is he's this very tough heavyweight, very game, good left hook, the odd nice trick here and there, but pretty flawed. And despite this rhetoric we've been hearing on Sky Sports of how he's only 32, he's still learning on the job, he's never going to be a complete fighter. No way. It's being realistic. It's not being negative. Guys like Andy Ruiz when he gets his weight down, Povetkin when he was younger, much more together, more natural fighters in terms of technique, certainly. Dillian Whyte needs to conjure up what youth he certainly has over Povetkin, the techniques he's been working on with his trainers, and really finish this mid-rounds. The longer it goes, the less effective Whyte has been. He used the word trying to be more consistent in an interview, which I thought was probably along the right lines. There were times where he kind of just let Povetkin wander a little bit. You want to really always keep him at the end of a jab, like, where are you going? What are you scheming? Because at the beginning of that 5th round, Whyte didn't really do anything wrong. I don't buy into this idea that he switched off. He shouldn't have let him get close, just clinch him instead. Yeah, but he didn't really do anything wrong. But you've always got to keep an old dog like that occupied and on a leash. Because one thing we saw with Povetkin, though he is older now, though he's slower off foot and of hand, he doesn't have the same stamina. Remember the guy who slowly broke down Carlos Takam in 2014? That guy doesn't exist anymore. But he has that skill and technique to call upon if you let him wander. So keep consistent boxing. Keep him at the end of a jab. Dillian Whyte doesn't have a great jab. He's never been great at moving with his feet and with the left hand forwards and backwards. It doesn't come natural to him. His biomechanics aren't really that together. So I hope that's something he's worked on. Failing that, if he does get close, as I said, clinch the guy. You've got that option. Make it ugly. You're a bigger guy. Lean your weight on him. Tire him that much more. So when the referee separates you, you're back to trying to get him at the end of your punches. Can't let Povetkin rest here. Keep him busy. Keep him working. His stamina is not the same. Gotta try to be smarter here, even though Slick and Dillian Whyte don't really go together. There's always going to be that danger. Povetkin now is 41. And this is a post-COVID Povetkin. I even heard some people say he may have lung damage now. Is that even true? That's probably overcooking it a bit. But he knows what he needs to do. Is he going to look for the same shot? Is he going to use the fact Whyte might be wary of that shot as something of a decoy to set him up for another one? We don't know. But he's got more options naturally because he's technically so much better. The range is the big issue. Don't let him in close. Povetkin has all kinds of little tricks he does. He'll step in this way, lean to his left. You think he's getting ready to twist into a hook, but he'll pause here and then throw this weird little short, arcing right. He did it against Joshua. He's done it against many opponents. He's very sneaky. I think it's going to end again in the mid-rounds. But I've got to go with Whyte. Because when Whyte lost in the first fight, it underlined the fact that I've just never really rated him that highly. If he loses again, if he's unable to conjure up what he's learned, what he shouldn't do, and the fact he's just so much younger and has got natural advantages, then he's got to be a little bit worse than I ever thought he was. Use the jab. At the beginning of the 5th round, he was in control, but he was probably a bit too lax. Start every round very serious, very engaged. That's a bit of a flaw with Dillian Whyte. He's not always engaged, is he? He wanders a little bit himself. The leg's a bit straight. No, he better be in the best shape of his life because it's got to be boom, boom, steady, consistent jab. Make him pay. Make him pay a toll to get close, as Teddy Atlas says. Consistent, punishing, and clinch. That's what I would have taught him. I don't know what they've worked on. If this little guy gets close, lean on him. Don't let him have the chance to work out angles. He's so clever with the left hand, the variation between the hook and the uppercut. Don't let him get started. So just purely on the basis of the fact that if Whyte lost again, he would probably be, in my estimation, worse than I ever thought he was. I've got to go with Dillian Whyte by 5th round stoppage.